Bangor. To the Rock Mount Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, Governor Mills declares the state is on good financial footing as she delivers her State of the Budget address.
Plus, the city of Bangor drafts a tenants' rights ordinance to help more people stay inside their homes.
And oil dealers were sharing the love on Valentine's Day by giving away free heating oil.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. We'll have those stories and much more coming up. But first, a check of the forecast. Looks like a kind of a rainy day today. Looks like we'll have rain on and off today. That will continue through the night. The good news is it will be out of the area by tomorrow. We should see some sunshine with temperatures up around 50 degrees.
You said it, Craig. It seems like it's going to rain itself out.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate, servicing the area for over 70 years. Experience matters. All right, let's get into things this morning. A small craft advisory is up until Thursday at around 10 a.m. We're watching another system that will be approaching, and I'll bring some wind with it as a result. And as a result, we're also watching wind advisories up until about the noon time frame as well. So both the alerts that we are watching out for today are wind alerts that are currently up. So we're watching some clouds that are currently moving in from the west going toward the east, and we're going to keep that going for just a little while yet today before we watch out for a few rain showers that will be developing during the afternoon period. All this right here will be moving from the west going toward the east. So once we get this through, things will begin to improve. So otherwise, though, here we are, a few rain showers possible today, maybe some of those continuing in the northern parts of the state later on this evening to the overnight period. But by tomorrow morning, some clouds off toward the north, not so much further down toward the south, so some sunshine could try to peek out as we start things off for your Thursday. Winds are out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, picking up throughout the daytime period today. That's why those advisories are in effect, but those winds will start to back off as we head towards Thursday afternoon. So your forecast for today, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy, with a few rain showers possible. That south wind getting up to about 15 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Otherwise, a cloudy sky, some rain showers in the afternoon, temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right. Thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. Well, the Maine Warden Service is investigating a fatal crash involving a truck and a snowmobile in northern Penobscot County. The Warden Service says it happened around 12:30 Tuesday afternoon when 60-year-old John Mishu of Millinocket was driving his snowmobile north on ITS 85. He failed to stop at a road crossing where the snowmobile trail crossed Grand Lake Road and was struck by a logging truck that was heading west. A witness says the truck driver tried to stop on the ice-covered road, but Mishu was struck as the snowmobile entered the roadway. He passed away at the scene. The crash remains under investigation by the Warden Service. They say it's a reminder for all snowmobilers to come to a complete stop before entering a roadway, and they should always look for oncoming vehicles.
Governor Janet Mills delivered her State of the Budget address earlier yesterday evening. She spoke on a number of issues and touted successes under her administration. The governor started off her speech by taking a strong stance on protecting Maine's lobster industry, prompting a standing ovation.
And as my Valentine's Day gift to you, when you leave the chamber, you will find chocolate lobster treats from our friends at Wilbur's of Maine and Freeport. A treat, I hope, that tastes much sweeter in the wake of our victory in Congress to pause the unfair right whale regulations imposed by the federal government on our lobster industry.
After starting off her address on a victorious note, as you just heard, she went on to assure lawmakers and viewers that Maine's economy is flourishing. She said the state's revenue outlook for the next 2 fiscal years is strong, with an anticipated $10.5 billion in incoming revenue. Governor Mills also touted a record-setting rainy day fund of $900 million and a low unemployment rate of 3.8%. She also said Maine's gross domestic product has the 9th highest growth rate in the country and the best growth rate in New England.
These strong revenue projections did not just happen by themselves. They are the direct result of a strong economy, created by federal support and deliberate policy and financial choices we have made in state government to fuel our recovery from the pandemic and create the conditions necessary for sustained economic growth.
She also touched on Maine's workforce shortages and a lack of affordable housing, preventing folks from taking jobs and settling in Maine as challenges they face. She proposed millions more in funding for PFAS testing and remediation, more than $100 million in possible funding for education, and $144 million to expand services so that aging Mainers can safely stay in their own homes.
Well, House Minority Leader Billy Bob Falkingham and Senate Minority Leader Trey Stewart issued a pre-recorded Republican response to the governor's budget proposal. They both argued that Maine's government is overspending.
Here's what worries me. There are too many people down here who think that doing great things means spending more money, a lot more money. Even if it means breaking a promise made to the people of Maine a few years back that we won't spend beyond our means. In fact, Democrats and Republicans agreed that when more money arrives in Augusta than we planned on, we would cut taxes, period. That is missing from this budget.
The governor's budget is another episode of spending gone wild. In fact, this spending bill is what's wrong with government. It puts the government first and the taxpayers last.
And we'll have a full breakdown of the governor's State of the Budget address as well as the Republican response tonight on ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Senate Republicans discussed measures taken to address obstacles Maine's lobstermen are facing following recent attacks from out-of-state organizations and stricter regulations. A.J. Douglas spoke to legislators on both sides of the aisle to understand these proposed solutions.
We can't let this issue be lost. I think that constant attention on what's going on is important.
Legislators gathered together during Tuesday's Senate Republican press conference to discuss challenges lobstermen often face. Legislators say challenges escalated following negative survey reports from out-of-state organizations like Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch.
What is more concerning for most of us has been interference in one of our heritage industries from outside groups that care more about right whales than the livelihoods of our people. There's something wrong with that calculus, especially when the underlying math is wrong.
House Minority Leader Representative Billy Bob Falkingham says it's time Maine stopped allowing tax breaks to grocers like Whole Foods that refuse to support products from Maine's heritage industries.
I think this is really a statement that the state of Maine and its tax policies aren't going to give benefits to people that are attacking traditional Maine industries.
The Taxation Committee held a public hearing Tuesday where LD 191, an act to amend the laws regarding certain business equipment tax benefits, which would remove state tax benefits to businesses like Whole Foods, which have blacklisted the sale of Maine lobster. Democratic Senator Troy Jackson says he has initiated efforts to aid Maine's lobster industry and supports bipartisan efforts to continue pushing for critical solutions.
In the first day of session, I sponsored a joint resolution against Whole Foods that we passed. I opened it up to all my Republican colleagues to be on board with it.
In Augusta, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, the city of Bangor is hoping to improve existing housing policies for area renters. David Ledford has that story.
The Bangor City Council held its first public reading of the revised Tenants' Rights Ordinance Monday night. The ordinance is part of the most recent version of the council's draft implementation plan, which focuses on addressing housing insecurity in Bangor and ensuring fair renting practices for both tenants and landlords.
This is, we all know, a particularly challenging time for us in figuring out how to address the root causes of homelessness.
If approved, the ordinance will require a 60-day notice of any rent increase, limit the cost of screening fees to $75, and eliminate rental application fees entirely. City Councilor Claire Davitt spoke about some of the goals of the ordinance.
We just want things to work equitably, and we know that the whole community wants people to be housed safely and be able to stay in their homes.
According to Davitt, the council has been working on addressing tenants' rights since the middle of last year, And one of the intentions of the ordinance is to prevent discrimination based on race, sex, the receipt of public assistance, and other factors. City councilors say educating renters about their existing rights is an important aspect of this ordinance.
Landlords have to give that tenant right information to their tenants and to have it be something that's easy and accessible to read. We'll actually have a page on our website that looks at housing and tenants' rights and the landlord's rights, and not just rentals, but housing in general.
In addition to what is outlined in the ordinance, city councilors explain that some of their other goals with the implementation plan are to increase housing in the downtown area and address vacant properties in the city. Public comment on the Tenants' Rights Ordinance will be held next Wednesday, February 22nd, at the Government Operations Meeting. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
7 survivors of domestic violence shared their stories with lawmakers Tuesday to advocate for stricter laws against violent abusers. One of those 7 survivors, Melissa Ader, shared pictures revealing bruising she suffered during a violent kidnapping. She says her ex-husband tortured her physically and sexually for 16 hours. Now After is sharing her story of survival with legislators and pushing for changes in current laws to hold abusers accountable.
Charges that my ex-husband had received that were no longer available to me because they were deferred disposition. So he had actually been charged previously, but because he had completed that deferred disposition, it was no longer a charge that was on record. You know, those who have not had any kind of experience with the domestic violence, it's important for them to see us, hear our story.
Ader's ex-husband is currently serving a 25-year sentence on sexual assault, domestic violence, and other charges.
Frenchman Bay United has released policy recommendations to protect the state's coastal waters based on its recent fight with American Aqua Farms. American Aqua Farms sued the Department of Marine Resources back in May of 2022 because the department rejected its application to grow salmon in net pens off the shores of Gouldsboro. The department claimed they failed to find a proper source for the eggs. The case was eventually dropped a few months later, but American Aqua Farms has vowed to pursue the Frenchman Bay Fish Farm. The proposed policies introduced by Frenchman Bay United include a 2-year moratorium on ocean-based fish farms, stronger environmental protections for coastal waters, and greater control in fish farm approvals. Frenchman Bay United board member Ted O'Meara urges the state to pass legislation and adopt these policies.
We need to be prepared for this onslaught because, last year it was American Aqua Farms. Who knows what it's going to be next? And we need to be smart about this. We can't just turn our coastline over to these people and hope for the best.
O'Meara says the state will see more pressure from foreign investors like American Aqua Farms if nothing happens.
Senator Angus King has introduced legislation to provide more career options to military spouses. The Military Spouse Employment Act would help military spouses build successful careers while their family members serve the country. Military spouses would be provided remote work careers with any federal agency, allowing them to maintain employment while they move with their spouse. In a statement, Senator King said, in part, quote, "Military families make many sacrifices while defending America's freedom and democracy, and too often this includes spouses putting aside their careers or turning down opportunities to pursue the American dream. The Bipartisan Military Spouse Employment Act is a common-sense bill to help military spouses avoid tough choices between family and employment by creating remote, stable careers in the federal government." Senator King says a recent survey found that 43% of active duty families say spousal unemployment is an issue for them, and 42% of military spouses reported they are currently looking for employment. The Military Spouse Employment Act passed the Senate in the previous Congress, but was not taken up by the full House of Representatives. I think that's very interesting because how can you support your country if you don't have a support system? And they are in charge of supporting the people who go overseas, so they need to have support as well.
Yeah, makes sense. And, the spouses they do such an important job too. Right. I mean, they're holding down the fort, trying to do everything back here.
Right.
This is a great way to maybe support them in the meantime.
Absolutely, absolutely. I hope some child care can get worked into that act maybe too. Well,
are you volunteering?
Yeah.
Babysitting.
Babysitting. I could use a second job.
Okay, there you go.
The time now is 8:14. And coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a Valentine's Day to remember for some lucky people who received free heating oil for Valentine's Day.
But first, another check of that forecast. A rainy day ahead today with highs up near 43 degrees. Rain showers will continue tonight with lows dropping down around 37. Tomorrow, a partly cloudy day with highs near 50.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
It's the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event at your all-wheel drive headquarters, giving you, for a short time only, cash-saving deals. Right now, you could save up to $1,100 cash with low 3.99% financing on most four-wheel drive Tacoma models. And every Tacoma comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. Hurry to the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event for cash-saving deals, only at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Start with a bang. Invite a bunch of friends, then fill the infield like a rock concert. Mix in some star power and turn them loose. A 500-mile all-out fight for NASCAR's biggest prize. That's the Great American Race. The Daytona 500, Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. Several Maine employers are urging lawmakers to end the sale of flavored tobacco products in the state. They have come together to form the Tobacco-Free Maine Works Coalition. The group says smoking costs Maine nearly $1.5 billion annually due to health care costs and lost productivity. The coalition says the best way to stop it is to prevent young people from starting. Dozens of businesses across the state have signed up to support new legislation designed to do just that.
So this law would be a preventative measure so more young people do not get addicted. It has an overwhelmingly negative impact on individual smokers' health, on the well-being of the smokers' families, and our collective workforce. If we can put a stop to it by ending the sale of flavored tobacco products, then we should do it.
Portland, Brunswick, Bangor, and South Portland have already passed ordinances ending the sale of flavored tobacco products in their cities.
Maine Energy Marketers Association and local oil companies were out spreading love across Maine yesterday. Our Matthew Dronsick tells us of how oil providers gave the gift of warmth for Valentine's Day.
The crew at R.H. Foster was feeling the love on Valentine's Day, giving away some sweet surprises.
We wanted to give you some extra love this year. So here were some flowers, some candy, a pizza, and we filled your tank. Oh my God.
Residents were shocked at the act of generosity.
Wonderful, wonderful. Totally unexpected, but really wonderful. Thank you so much.
This is the 8th year in a row Maine Emergency Management Agency is partnering with oil companies to make Fuel Your Love Delivery Day possible.
We are really excited. This is one of the most emotional and fulfilling days that we have here at R.H. Foster. We were able to identify 18 worthy recipients of this gift today, and we're very excited. None of them know.
Foster says it's important to make sure their customers are warm during the harsh winter months.
It's been very cold, and as many Mainers know, a couple weekends ago it was incredibly cold, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to give some of these folks a full tank and a little peace of mind for the remainder of the winter.
Recipient Gail Bowie says she was touched to be one of the lucky winners.
It has really brightened my day. All of you have brightened my day, so I don't get too many of them.
In Hamden, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
You talk about genuine gratitude, you know, what a nice thing they did there. And, you know, helping so many people.
I know. I hope they can go treat themselves with the money they would have had to spend on the oil.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Probably save it for something else. Things are so tight these days.
I hope so.
Yeah, good job by R.H. Foster and everybody else at Chick Park.
The time now is 8:19. After the break, we'll have part 2 of a story we started yesterday regarding a ghostwriter who has put his life on the line to tell the story of a friendship that got him caught up in cartel dealings.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
After my accident, I needed help.
I was looking for information online.
Then I found it.
JoeBornstein.com.
Get help now at JoeBornstein.com. From your smartphone or desktop, here in Maine, the law offices of Joe Bornstein is as close as your fingertips.
The consultation was free and confidential.
In person or online.
They believe your case is worth more. Call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Lease an all-wheel drive 2023 Tucson for $239 a month or get 0% APR for 48 months. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate. 974-7815.
Cody Foster spent his 20s working as a ghostwriter. Now, the Mount Desert resident is finally putting his name on his own literary work, a memoir about his frightening experience working alongside John McAfee, the creator of the McAfee antivirus software.
As Jody Hersey explains, it was a dangerous friendship that almost cost Foster his life.
The whole McAfee saga was really dangerous. You know, I went on the run with him from the cartel. I got kidnapped in Barcelona with him. I had my life threatened. I had guns pointed at me.
30-year-old Alex Cody Foster has walked in many people's shoes. As a ghostwriter, he's created fictional characters and situations that readers can't seem to get enough of. However, his real-life experience working with John McAfee, the antivirus software creator who was arrested for tax evasion, was a harrowing experience he describes in detail in his new memoir.
That one is called The Man Who Hacked the World, A Ghostwriter's Descent into Madness with John McAfee. It's about my life and how I became a ghostwriter.
Although he's ghostwritten and co-authored numerous books, this memoir is the first book Foster himself has ever put his name on.
In this world of constant social media and branding, there's more power in a name than there ever was before. So I thought I should own my name. You know, why should everybody else use it, you know, secretly?
Netflix has turned Foster's personal experience into a documentary called Running with the Devil.
When I was talking with this filmmaker, it was incredibly cathartic, reliving these things. And it was one of the best decisions I think I've ever made. And I decided to do a book after that.
McAfee was found dead in his jail cell in Spain in 2021. Foster's book is now available at area bookstores and online.
We all have a story, and I think that means that we can all sort of relate to one another.
In Mount Desert, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
On and off, and it's a bizarre story. You know, I had no idea about the main connection there too.
Yeah.
So it looks like it'd be an interesting book to read.
Definitely. You might have to. Well, the time now is 8:24.
Time to get a full look at the weather forecast. Looking wet out there today, Devin.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate, servicing the area for over 70 years. Experience matters. Alrighty, here we are. We have a couple advisories in effect. A small craft advisory up until about the 10 a.m. time frame for your Thursday. A wind advisory up for these areas here until about noon for your Thursday. We have a system that's going to be passing through today, bringing some wind with it, and of course a little bit of precipitation that we have to watch out for as well. Wave heights not as bad just yet, ranging from around 3 to 9 feet according to some of the buoys. Will be increasing as things move forward today, and that's why those advisories are in effect along the coast. Meanwhile, we're also watching for increasing clouds that are tracking in from the southwest, going toward the north and east. So as we watch for increasing clouds today, the chances for a few rain showers will continue to exist. Watching from right about in here, tracking from the west, going toward the east. So the rain will get going, especially later this afternoon. Very hit and miss in nature. So some of you may see a little bit of rain, some of you not so much at all. But there'll be another system moving in after this that we'll need to keep an eye on just a little bit more on the closer side. So futurecast for today, increasing clouds. A few rain showers will be possible as well. We'll keep some of that going for the northern parts of the state later on tonight. For us, maybe a few breaks in the clouds near the Bangor area as we head towards early Thursday morning. So maybe some sunshine to start things off. Then throughout the day, some decreasing clouds for a little while until about Thursday evening before more clouds begin to move in yet again. Before early Friday morning, another system moves in for snow for the northern ends of the state and maybe a little bit of rain further down toward the south. So here's how that system's going to behave. A little bit of a wintry mix expected with a little bit of rain near Bangor and areas to the south. A little bit of a wintry mix switch over and further off towards the north, and all snow in the northern ends of the state, which will eventually switch over to all snow before it's all out of here late Friday afternoon into the evening time frame. So let's break this down right now. So a little bit of rain on the way, at least as we run this all the way through Thursday morning. Not so much, maybe some localized higher amounts. Then our next system passing through could give us just a little bit more. So some areas between now and at least Saturday, maybe up to a half an inch of rain before we're all finished up there. And maybe a little bit of snow on the way as well, especially near the Caribou area, around 4 to 6 inches possible near the Caribou area, with lesser amounts of snow further down toward the south. And having to watch out for a little bit of ice as well in a few spots, especially in the northern ends of the state as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Maybe some ice accumulations in a few areas. So your forecast for today, lower 40s, mostly cloudy with a few rain showers. South wind at about 15 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 37 degrees, partly cloudy with a few rain showers early. And a south wind at about 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, 50 degrees, partly cloudy. West wind at about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate. A wintry mix on the way for your Friday. Highs hit early in the lower 40s and then falling back in the low 30s Saturday with a partly cloudy sky. Mostly cloudy Sunday, highs in the low 40s.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
There's some things that go better together.
Burger and fries, soup and salad.
Thank you. Like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you make smarter decisions for a more confident financial future.
Hey, it's Tandem Bicycle. You can't do that by yourself. Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
Pictionary.
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
Clock. Alarm clock.
Alarm clock is correct.
5 days a week.
Woo! Pictionary, baby! Can we switch Jerry to decaf, please?
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
There's growing concern this morning about contamination in Ohio after train derailment this month. Residents have reported illnesses, and officials say thousands of local fish have died. The big question now, is the water safe? ABC's Andrea Fujii has the latest.
This morning, growing concern about the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, as it's discovered even more chemicals than were originally reported were on that train.
What caused it?
Train derailed.
A train derailed.
Yep.
Ashley McCullum, who shot this video of the February 3rd accident, says she's afraid to move back home.
I've went in to try to air out. I'm afraid to remove anything just because I don't know cross-contamination, what chemicals are actually in there. You can smell it in the air.
She was one of the nearly 5,000 residents evacuated in the immediate aftermath and during the controlled explosion that followed. The Norfolk Southern train was carrying hazardous materials, including vinyl chloride, a known carcinogen. The state's Department of Natural Resources reports nearly 8 miles of waterways in the Ohio River are contaminated. At least 3,500 fish have died, and some residents say their cats and chickens have died. The EPA, monitoring air quality, declared it safe to return home, though the governor said yesterday he's leery of the drinking water.
I think that I would be drinking the bottled water. And I would be continuing to find out what the tests were showing as far as the air.
Erin Brockovich, who fought for clean water in her California town, is demanding the government do more for residents.
So now they're even more concerned because they were told it was safe to go back. They've been drinking the water. Now they're told you can't drink the water.
The governor says he was told the train was not considered a highly hazardous material train, so the railroad was not required to notify state officials.
This is absurd, and we need to look at this, and Congress needs to take a look.
Brockovich agrees.
There's been no independent testing, yet things are dying, and this community just doesn't feel they're being seen. They're being heard.
Brockovich says questions remain as to the extent of the contamination. She says areas in neighboring Pennsylvania could also be affected.
Well, meanwhile, the community in East Lansing, Michigan left shaken after a gunman opens fire on the campus of Michigan State University. Several students are dead and more are injured. Fox News senior correspondent Mike Tobin reports from the campus with new details we're learning about the gunman.
At least 3 students are dead and 5 more in critical condition after a gunman opened fire on the Michigan State University campus Monday night. Police identifying the suspect as 43-year-old Anthony McRae, who they say entered 2 different buildings on campus, firing at random before fleeing the scene. Students were left terrified and sheltering in place for hours.
Our first thought is just to get as far away from the situation as possible, as fast as possible. So we were just booking it on our bikes back to our dorm to try and get to what we would consider a safe place.
Thanks to a citizen tip, McRae was located several hours later by police dying of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police finding a note in McRae's pocket indicating a threat to 2 schools in Ewing, New Jersey, a community to which he had ties. Out of an abundance of caution, those schools were closed on Tuesday.
Another place that is supposed to be about community and togetherness, shattered by bullets and bloodshed.
Sadly, for some students, this was not their first time experiencing a tragedy of this kind. A mother of one student saying her daughter is a survivor of the Oxford High School shooting in 2021.
She lives right across from the Union,
And she heard the screaming, and she called me right away. She's just devastated and just so scared right now. I just feel like it's a nightmare happening all over again.
The family's worst nightmare. It's happening far too often.
The motive behind the shooting is still a mystery. Police say they know of nothing that connects McRae to the university. In East Lansing, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll hear from a local parish that is doing everything they can to help those who are experiencing homelessness.
We'll have the story and much more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984 when three brothers created the iconic bath fitter tub-over-tub process. A breakthrough then, the industry standard now for beautiful baths without the mess, stress, or high cost. A better way from Bath Fitter means precise measurement, the highest quality acrylic, perfect preparation, and watertight installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
You're watching Fox 22 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. It's also International Childhood Cancer Day. The day raises awareness of childhood cancer and honors all the families and children that have experienced the disease. It acknowledges their pain and difficulties, giving them space to process and grieve. Despite the advances in medicine and medical technology, cancer remains the leading cause of death by disease for children past infancy. Just terrible.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people wonder, what can I do to support people who are going through these things? What can I do? But I think just being there to hear people talk and ask them, that's all you can do.
Yeah, some people just want space. Other people need a little bit more.
It's different for everybody.
This is a day to think about that.
Absolutely. On this day in history, in 1842, adhesive postage stamps were used for the very first time by the post office in New York City. And we brought this up last hour, but it's like, what was going on before that? I don't think Scotch tape was a thing before then.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I don't know what they did before.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, in 1898, the USS Maine sank when it exploded in Havana Harbor, killing more than 260 crew members. The scroll work from the bow of that ship can now be found in Bangor's Davenport Park. And in 2011, the first draft of the human genome was published in Nature magazine. Today's birthdays include rapper Pitbull, who's 42, and because of that, my buddy over here has had a complete soundtrack for the morning.
We've been playing a lot of Pitbull all morning here. Nothing like Pitbull at like 3:30 in the morning. Hey.
I'm going to have it in my head the rest of the day.
It's good stuff.
It's kind of making me feel, I love it and I enjoy it, but it's like an insanity soundtrack in the back of my head. Something will be going wrong and I'll just feel,
as long as you keep that in the back, everything else today will be just fine.
Right. Yes. So. Good point.
Yeah, I like him. I'm not a big rap guy, but give me some Pitbull. Get your blood going.
It's good for dancing, and dancing is good for your heart. So.
You don't want to see me dance, but anyway.
Actress Dove Cameron is 27, and football great Drew Brees is 44. This is also the birthday of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. So happy birthday to them.
All right, as far as the weather's concerned today, you'll run into some wet weather as you head out for the day today. The rain will continue on and off through the night, but tomorrow it looks like a partly cloudy day, which means at least we'll see some sunshine. And the good news around here, if you're into warmer temperatures, it'll be up around 50 tomorrow. Yeah,
wow.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, too. Okay, here's Stephen Diggs with the forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate, servicing the area for over 70 years. Experience matters. All right, let's get into things this morning. A small craft advisory is up until Thursday at around 10 a.m. We're watching another system that will be approaching, and I'll bring some wind with it as a result. And as a result, we're also watching wind advisories up until about the noon time frame as well. So both the alerts that we are watching out for today are wind alerts that are currently up. So we're watching some clouds that are currently moving in from the west going toward the east, and we're going to keep that going for just a little while yet today before we watch out for a few rain showers that will be developing during the afternoon period. All this right here will be moving from the west going toward the east. So once we get this through, things will begin to improve. So otherwise, though, here we are, a few rain showers possible today, maybe some of those continuing in the northern parts of the state later on this evening to the overnight period. But by tomorrow morning, some clouds off toward the north, not so much further down toward the south, so some sunshine could try to peek out as we start things off for your Thursday. Winds are out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, picking up throughout the daytime period today. That's why those advisories are in effect. Those winds will start to back off as we head towards Thursday afternoon. So your forecast for today, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy, with a few rain showers possible. That south wind getting up to about 15 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Otherwise, a cloudy sky, some rain showers in the afternoon, temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you very much, Devin. A local parish is finishing up an initiative to offer warmth and clothing to those experiencing homelessness. On Sunday, February 5th, Corpus Christi Parish of Winslow launched Clotheslines of Comfort, a clothing drive with the goal of helping those experiencing homelessness and local students in need. The parish hung clotheslines in both of its churches and encouraged donors to hang clothing on the lines so it could be donated to area schools and the Mid-Maine Homeless Shelter.
It feels like we say this every year, but the reality is the last few years have been particularly hard on people. Clothing drives like this one can really help support folks who may not need a shelter bed, but they need support in other ways in order to maintain their housing.
Dr. Spencer White says one of the shelter's biggest needs right now is new underwear and warm winter boots. Clotheslines for Comfort will continue through the 19th, and donations can be dropped off at the Notre Dame Church in Waterville or St. John the Baptist Church in Winslow. Good job by them.
Absolutely. And Craig, I sound a bit like a broken record. I brought this up the past 2 hours, but I think it's important information. We're so far away from that area here in Bangor. So I know for a fact that you can reach out to Ann Sweeney. She's on Facebook. Her page is Hope for Homeless, and she works directly, like I've said, with case managers who reach out to the shelters around here to see what they need. Sometimes it's cream, sometimes it's canned soup, sometimes it's socks and underwear, and sometimes it's jackets. So she has a list that she keeps fairly updated on Facebook, so check her out on Facebook, Hope for Homeless, if you want to donate around here.
Wonderful project there.
Absolutely. And still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have your sports updates.
We'll be right back.
Finding a surcharge-free ATM just got easier. Maine Credit Unions have the largest surcharge-free ATM network in Maine, with over 250 locations. Save money today. Surf ATMs at mainecreditunions.org.
When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry. Relieve the anxiety of slipping and falling this winter with the new Navitech with grippers built right into the sole. Just flip it and clip it and you're ready to go. Be prepared this winter. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemmainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
How much does it cost you to use an ATM? How does $0 sound? Get cash and forget the surcharge fees with Maine Credit Union's Surf ATM network. Find over 250 surcharge-free ATMs at mainecreditunions.org.
Don't miss the most beloved unmasking in history.
Wow! The whole world loves you so much.
The Masked Singer, season premiere, tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will start on the ice here. On Wednesday, the Penobscot Pioneers girls hockey co-op will battle for the Class A North title and a trip to the state finals game. The Pioneers head down to Portland to take on the Yarmouth Freeport Co-op, the #1 team in A North. Penobscot and Yarmouth skated to a tie their last time out. That was on January 7th. And besides that tie, the girls have won 12 of their last 13 games. And they say what's helped on this streak is how the team has grown off the ice since first coming together this fall.
Man, I think we just kind of learned how to work as like a team and kind of clicked. We've started supporting each other, having better attitudes on the bench, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
I think the energy is really good. All the girls are really excited. Coaches are looking excited. They're really happy for us. They put a lot of work in.
Well, at the start, we kind of knew each other, but not really. But now we're like super close, I guess you want to call it. And I don't know. It's just like a little family. I wouldn't want to do it with a different group of girls.
In their first year as a program, Penobscot is in position to make history. As the northernmost girls hockey team in Maine, Penobscot beat the other northernmost team, the Winslow-Gardner Black Tigers. Actually, they served as the northernmost team last season in the semis, and the Black Tigers are the team that really got the ball rolling for girls hockey up here.
If we won this, it would be because of them. They're the ones that let me. They're the ones that brought me in, and then now we have this year. It would be because of them.
That would mean everything. That would be a full circle for sure, because I'm sure some people thought pretty low of us coming in here, and it would just prove to everyone that we can be the best and that we can win it all.
All right, wishing them the best of luck. Let's stay with hockey now. Also in the first year is the Molly Engstrom era up in Orono. She and the Black Bears are gearing up for the Hockey East playoffs that are right around the corner. Ryan Sudol has more.
It's been great. I think it's been a great journey for myself.
Molly Engstrom is close to finishing her first regular season as Maine women's hockey head coach, and she's learned some valuable lessons along the way.
Patience is a virtue. In terms of following through and executing what we want to do here is just building relationships, like I've said, from the beginning with the players and the staff.
Relationships that for many go farther than the ice.
And that's what's really exciting is that she's created these relationships that I think will last for my lifetime.
And these bonds have yielded great team chemistry that's led the Black Bears to a 500 conference record, the best debut season ever for a Maine women's hockey head coach.
We've had some really nice games, and we've struggled, as I think any team would, but I think we're playing a pretty good brand of hockey.
The Black Bears are in 6th place in Hockey East, but can move to 5th if they sweep Merrimack College in their final series this weekend.
I think if we execute our system well, we will definitely play a really good hockey.
The team knows it, that if we can come out when the puck drops and we can play 60 full minutes, there's no reason we can't.
But regardless of this weekend's finish or where they're seated in the Hockey East tournament, the Black Bears believe no one should count them out of a deep run.
We have a long history of kind of being the underdog and then winning. We've beaten every single team in our conference except for Vermont. With that mentality, we totally can.
In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. In the playoffs right now is the Maine high school basketball season. Prelims for the girls started on Tuesday, and that is where we will start our coverage. Up in Corinth, it is a 4-13 matchup in girls Class C North Central, hosting PCHS. Second quarter, Riley Speed up to Izzy Allen. She is going to kick it to her sister Mary in transition. Smooth as butter on the lay-in and one. Later, it's going to be right off of a Riley Speed inbound. Izzy Allen pops a three-pointer. The future Black Bear drills it. Final seconds of the first half now. Here is PCHS trying to put something together. Briley Rucker to Hope Hunt. She shoots a three at the buzzer, and she nails it. 44-9 Central at the half. Finally, in the third quarter, Izzy Allen with the steal. Nice pass under to Riley Speed. Lay it in, count it, and one. Central wins 66-21. They are off to the quarterfinals. Class B North now, the 10-7 split between Foxcroft Academy and Herman Hawks, the visitors in this one. First quarter, it's Hallie Page. She gets it. She's going to go baseline, and she's going to get that one to go for 2. Ponies on top. Still in the first, Allie Cameron over to Sadie Campbell. She stops, pops, and she wants all 3 of those. That makes it a 1-point game. Next play, Ponies with it. Annie Rains stops. She gets her shot blocked, but gets her own miss. Finishes 4-2. Nice hustle play right there. And then in the second, more Ponies. This time, Rains is going to find Sam Ossenfort in the post. She gets the bucket to go. Nice spin move to the left. Ponies win, and they are in. They will play Caribou. All right, some other scores now for other prelims. MDI over Belfast in Class B North, 54-40. Mattanock over Stearns in Class C, 63-33. They will now play Central. Presque Isle beat MCI 36-21, Class B North. And in Class D North, Jonesport Beals advances over Bangor Christian, 38-13. And that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event at your all-wheel drive headquarters, giving you, for a short time only, cash-saving deals. Right now, you could get a cash-saving 3.99% financing deal on an all-wheel drive Camry. And every Camry comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and Toyota Safety Sense. Hurry to the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event for cash-saving deals only at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider, the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our Warrior Course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
For over 75 years, Ariens has been blowing away the competition. Ariens snow throwers simply overpower other brands. See for yourself by watching the screen and then head to Jim Small Engines in Arlington, where these fabulous high-throwing Ariens snow throwers are on sale at unbelievable prices. Jim Small Engines brings 40 years experience in sales and service, and Jim knows that Ariens snow throwers are the best, but supplies are limited, so watch the screen and take advantage of the great sale prices on Ariens snow throwers now at Jim Small Engines, Snows Corner Road, Arlington.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
A key indicator of how the economy and inflation are doing out yesterday, and it shows Americans will continue paying more at the pump, at the grocery store, and to put a roof over their heads. Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence is at the White House breaking down the numbers.
It's not all love this Valentine's Day, with the economic numbers coming out hotter than expected. The January Consumer Price Index showing goods and services rose 6.4% year over year and 0.5% since December.
We're putting our resources in not very productive places, and that is not going to be good for long-term economic growth.
These rising prices eating into Americans' pockets, with energy, food, and shelter the biggest contributors. Food prices jumping 0.5% in January and more than 10% over this time last year. The hardest hit products, eggs. The price tag on a dozen of eggs increasing 70% year over year.
We have to find ways to get food prices under control.
The biggest overall contributor is housing, up 0.7% on the month and nearly 8% from a year ago.
Congress has got to get to work on driving forward of policies towards affordable housing. If we focus on core policies here in the United States, we can really make a dent here on driving inflation down.
Fed Chairman Jerome Powell recently acknowledging disinflation has begun, but adds there is still a long way to go to reach the central bank's desired 2% inflation target.
He also said that it's going to be a bumpy ride. So this is definitely bumpy, but, you know, being committed to 2%, that means that they're going to be probably looking at further rate hikes.
The Federal Reserve indicating they will need to see a continued decline in prices before they pull back on raising interest rates to fight inflation. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
All right, shifting gears now, turning things over to Devin for the latest on our forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate, servicing the area for over 70 years. Experience matters. Alrighty, here we are. We have a couple advisories in effect. A small craft advisory up until about the 10 a.m. time frame for your Thursday. A wind advisory up for these areas here until about noon for your Thursday. We have a system that's going to be passing through today, bringing some wind with it, and of course a little bit of precipitation that we have to watch out for as well. Wave heights not as bad just yet, ranging from around 3 to 9 feet according to some of the buoys. Will be increasing as things move forward today, and that's why those advisories are in effect along the coast. Meanwhile, we're also watching for increasing clouds that are tracking in from the southwest, going toward the north and east. So as we watch for increasing clouds today, the chances for a few rain showers will continue to exist. Watching from right about in here, tracking from the west, going toward the east. So the rain will get going, especially later this afternoon. Very hit and miss in nature. So some of you may see a little bit of rain, some of you not so much at all. But there'll be another system moving in after this that we'll need to keep an eye on just a little bit more on the closer side. So futurecast for today, increasing clouds. A few rain showers will be possible as well. We'll keep some of that going for the northern parts of the state later on tonight. For us, maybe a few breaks in the clouds near the Bangor area as we head towards early Thursday morning. So maybe some sunshine to start things off. Then throughout the day, some decreasing clouds for a little while until about Thursday evening before more clouds begin to move in yet again. Before early Friday morning, another system moves in for snow for the northern ends of the state and maybe a little bit of rain further down toward the south. So here's how that system's going to behave. A little bit of a wintry mix expected with a little bit of rain near Bangor and areas to the south. A little bit of a wintry mix switch over and further off towards the north, and all snow at the northern ends of the state, which will eventually switch over to all snow before it's all out of here late Friday afternoon into the evening time frame. So let's break this down right now. So a little bit of rain on the way, at least as we run this through all the way through Thursday morning. Not so much, maybe some localized higher amounts. Then our next system passing through could give us just a little bit more. So some areas between now and at least Saturday, maybe up to a half an inch of rain before we're all finished up there. And maybe a little bit of snow on the way as well, especially near the Caribou area. Around 4 to 6 inches possible near the Caribou area, with lesser amounts of snow further down toward the south. And having to watch out for a little bit of ice as well in a few spots, especially in the northern ends of the state as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Maybe some ice accumulations in a few areas. So your forecast for today, lower 40s, mostly cloudy with a few rain showers. South wind at about 15 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 37 degrees, partly cloudy with a few rain showers early. And south wind at about 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, 50 degrees, partly cloudy. West wind at about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Century 21 Queen City Real Estate. A wintry mix on the way for your Friday. Highs hit early in the lower 40s and then falling back in the low 30s Saturday with a partly cloudy sky. Mostly cloudy Sunday, highs in the low 40s.
Where do you go when you need a real estate appraisal? Who has the experience that I need? Who can I trust? Maine Val has over 30 years of experience across the state of Maine in providing top-quality real estate appraisal services. Contact us today and speak with one of our many licensed professionals. Maine Val, quality delivered on schedule. Call us today at 207-573-3222. That's 573-3222.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Best 2 out of 3?
Get 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on a new 2023 Forte during the President's Day sales event.
Welcome back to the National Window Showdown. It's now time for our expert picks. My pick is Renewal by Andersen. Their customer service is exceptional, trustworthy, professional, Renewal by Anderson has to be the pick for me.
I love Renewal by Anderson for this too, Brian. They take care of the entire process from consultation to installation and beyond. They're second to none.
Guys, for me, it's the Fibrex. It's a no-brainer. Renewal by Anderson takes it to the house.
A clean sweep for Renewal by Anderson. They really are the better way to a better window.
Opposite water?
Sand. 25 words or less.
Going home with another $10,000.
Thank you, Carson.
You're welcome. What's 10% of 10,000?